Whether on one plank or two, free-heeled or fixed, the backcountry is the ultimate winter challenge. Join us in the North Cascades as we hit the backcountry on Washington State's Mount Baker and make our own adventure on Trailside.
Trailside is brought to you by Chevy Blazer, encouraging you to find your own little part of the planet. And Pacific Trail, makers of recreational outdoor wear for every family member. Pacific Trail, helping to keep the outdoor enthusiast warm, dry, and outside.
The North Cascades have been called America's Alps. They're the stomping ground for Jack Kerouac's Dharma Bums and one of the last great expanses of wild and rugged terrain in the U.S. They're also famous for their snow, and lots of it. The winter of 1998-99 yielded a world record 93 feet here on Mount Baker. All that snow means conditions are perfect for backcountry powder turns, but also for avalanche. The backcountry doesn't have to be the source for unnecessary risk. There's a practical science to understanding avalanche activity. It's important, and it could save your life. My guide and instructor here in the backcountry is Josh Evans of the Mount Baker Pro Ski Patrol. He's head of the Mountain Safety School here at Mount Baker Ski Area. Much more than just a ski patroller, Josh is responsible for instigating and running the avalanche seminars here on the mountain. Good morning, Josh.
Good morning, Brian. Welcome to Mount Baker Ski Area.
Oh, it's terrific to be here. I can see how majestic it is. It's wonderful.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about it. You know, we've got National Park on one side, protected wilderness on the other. Just makes for a lot of great skiing.
Oh, yeah, I can see that, no doubt.
So speaking of skiing, how long has it been since you've been out?
Well, it's been about 12 years, Josh.
12 years, no kidding. Well, we got a plan. We're going to set you up with some gear and have a great day out on the slopes, so let's go.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
Well, weather's moving in, so I figured I better grab you a jacket.
Oh, great.
Layering's really important in the mountains. Looks like you have a good base layer going on, a nice mid-weight fleece. What about eye protection?
Oh, I brought some sunglasses. Let me show you, see if they're okay. How's that?
Oh, great. Nice side protection, glacier glasses, everything you need right there.
Good.
If the weather keeps building, it starts snowing, maybe it gets really windy, anything like that, we'll want to get you into a pair of goggles like I have here, but otherwise you're going to be fine. I also grabbed one of my favorite pairs of skis. Thought you might want to try them out.
Oh, those look great. You know, skis have really changed over the years, haven't they?
In 12 years, you can bet they've changed. A lot more side cut. Wider in the tip and tail. It's a design they call parabolic, and just makes floating on top of the snow a lot easier. Carving, all that becomes easier.
Oh, sounds good.
All right.
A lot of equipment goes with us. What's
Sure
this
does.
For? What's this for?
Well, that's called an avalanche probe there. And it makes it easier to find somebody who's buried underneath the snow. You just kind of probe around looking for them.
Okay.
That works in conjunction with an avalanche transceiver, which sends out an electronic signal, and again, makes it easier to find people underneath the snow.
Yeah, because, I mean, how would you ever find them? I mean, the snow comes in, they get buried so deep you'd never find them.
The truth is, you're not going to find them without this essential equipment. And you're also not going to be able to dig them out without some sort of shovel. You just can't move snow like you need to with your bare hands. So a shovel is a key piece of equipment.
Okay.
Some other key pieces of equipment, of course, you've heard of the 10 essentials.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, sunscreen, sunglasses, pocket knife, compass, that sort of stuff. All really important. I've got those in my pack.
Yeah.
But for now, we'll go ahead and leave our packs here. We'll go take a couple warm-up runs, come get them later.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, grab your skis, let's go.
We'll do it. So, Josh, it's pretty windy up here. What's the terrain going to be like?
Well, you know, we've got something for everyone here, but for you, we've got a great backcountry tour coming up.
Sounds good, yeah.
First, we just want to focus on a few safety concerns and see how your skiing's doing after all these years, and then we'll head out.
All right. All right.
All right, let's go. All right, great. How'd that feel?
Felt good. Legs are coming back.
Okay, you're looking good.
Mhm.
The only real suggestion I have to make is keeping your hands forward and really focusing on your pole plant and moving around it. Really
Okay.
hands up like a boxer.
All right.
Other than that, I say let's see what you got.
Let's do it.
All right.
All right.
You're looking great. I
Yeah,
think you're
feels
ready for some backcountry skiing.
Yeah,
So,
all right, let's do it.
I grabbed your pack and a few other items.
Oh, okay.
First, we want to head up top, talk about a few Avalanche basics, review some equipment,
Okay.
and besides that, I think we're ready to go.
Good.
So follow me.
Will do.
What we have here is our essential backcountry equipment.
All right.
We've already talked about the pack,
Mhm.
the shovel, the Avalanche probe. What I'd like to take a closer look at is the Avalanche transceiver here.
Yeah, I was wondering how this worked.
Well, I'll tell you, it sends out an electronic signal that makes
Yeah.
it easier to find somebody if they're buried underneath the snow surface. Everybody's wearing one of these transceivers. When they get buried, everyone goes to receive. The way you do that is go ahead and push down the red button there. I'll
All
show
right.
you. There you go, just like that. And now it's picking up everybody else's signals, and then you can hone in on them. Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, what's the range on this?
On this one, it's about 40 to 50 meters.
Okay.
So, of course, you need to have your first aid kit in the
Mhm.
backcountry, just an essential piece of equipment. And then we have our snow science equipment here.
What is this for? That's something else.
That's called a snow saw.
Yeah?
And that is used in conjunction with a snow cutting rope here.
Okay.
And anytime you want to isolate a column to do some sort of stability test,
Okay.
you need to cut through the back and sides. And this is the pieces of equipment we use to do that.
Oh, neat. Now, what is this for? You've got a little card and a
Exactly.
pen light thing.
This is our sort of snow study kit right
Okay.
here. And this here is a crystal card, and this is a magnifying glass.
Okay.
What we do is go ahead and grab some snow there.
All right.
We put it on the card, kind of give it a little tap, and we
Right.
can look through at the crystals, and they're kind of blown up. We can see what's going on with them and get an idea of what's going on within the snowpack.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. Look
Yeah.
at that. Yeah, that's neat.
So different snow crystals can affect the stability of the snow in
Mhm.
different ways. So we want to kind of keep track of that sort of
Okay.
stuff.
And this is for?
Well, this is just your basic collapsible ruler right here, and we want to, when we find different instabilities within the snowpack, we want to mark where they are and that
Oh,
sort of
sure.
thing, measure
Yeah.
distance to the top, and that way we can have that for reference in the future.
What are the temperature gauges for?
Well, same sort of thing. Temperature within the snowpack can mean different sort of stability going on, so we want to track that sort of information for future use.
Oh, sure. And all this packs up and goes in your pack?
Yep, packs right up, and we can head out.
Well, good.
Hey, let's stop up here. I want to point out a few things.
All right.
You see that hanging glacier in the back there?
Uh-huh.
If we were traveling underneath that, we'd want to really be considerate of the fact that that was above us. It could cause an ice avalanche, which could come down and really ruin our day.
Yeah.
So when we're traveling in the backcountry, we want to think about different terrain features that are going to affect our travel decisions. Take, for example, can you see the wind ridges going on over there?
Oh, yeah, the ones that come down this side over here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All those wind marks, the scouring going on,
Mhm.
what that can be an indicator of is wind slab building up, which means we can get a slab avalanche coming down. So we
Oh,
want to
wow.
be considerate of that.
I would have never known that.
As well, think about if we do get involved in an avalanche accident, what's going to happen to us? Where are we going to go? Our exposure is high over here on the left, but less so over on the right. So we want to be aware of whether we're traveling above cliff bands, trees,
Sure.
things like that.
Yeah.
I'm going to be pointing out some more things along the way, but for now, let's go ahead and keep moving.
All right.
There she is, Mount Baker.
Oh, wow.
Here's some steep stuff for you.
All right.
This is where the ski area ends and the backcountry begins.
Oh, wow.
Go ahead and grab
Beautiful.
Out, get your transceiver out. We'll do a transceiver check.
Okay.
So there's a sign here that says backcountry policy, and basically what it's saying is we're on our own once we head out here. It's just you and me. So we got to really use the buddy system. We're partners, all right?
All right, let's give it a check.
All right, we're beeping. Looks good.
There we go.
So let's head over and do some stability tests.
All right.
So what we're going to do here, Brian, is dig a snow pit so we can analyze what's going on below the snow's surface.
Okay.
And what we need to do to make that happen is dig out a wall that's 6 feet wide, about 4 feet deep, and that's going to take us a little while.
Here, how do you measure out 6 feet?
Well, I like to measure out 6 feet by, well, I know I'm 5'8". That's about the width of my fingertips here. Just kind of lay out in the snow.
Well, that's pretty scientific.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, with that in mind, we kind of got a line to work with there, right across here. And so we're just going to dig out a face and move some snow.
All right.
You can already start feeling how the layers are changing.
Yeah.
It's getting a lot denser. Okay, so I like to think of my snow pit as a laboratory in the field. So we want it really smooth and nice, like really good plane on our face.
Okay.
Square angles on the corners, just really looking good. So let's go ahead and just smooth it out.
All right.
Okay, well, we can really see the layers now.
Yeah.
So what we did, we just brushed out the layers, and that brought out the less consolidated snow and left the denser snow. Another way we can check out snow density is with our crystal card. You remember that from the science pack?
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead and grab it out of there.
Oh, okay.
What I want you to do with that card is just run it down the face of the snow.
Okay.
Stick it in and apply pressure, and you'll feel changes in density.
Yeah, it's kind of like the card has little bumps.
Exactly.
Whoa, right there's a big layer.
Right there. You hit that ice crust that we can see right here. So you're just going to kind of mark that off.
Okay.
Keep moving the card down. And the purpose of this is to check out relative densities in layers. You want your density to get denser and denser and denser towards the bottom, like you can see it's doing. So that's a pretty good thing. If we had it unconsolidated on top with dense, or on the bottom with dense on top, that would be a problem because that could cause a slab avalanche.
Sure.
All right, looking good. Okay, what we're going to do here is isolate a column of snow so that we can perform some sort of stability test. What we're going to do at first is a compression test, which means that we have to clear out one side of the snow so we can get a thaw into the back.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this first one, and then we'll let you have it the second one.
Okay.
All right. Now, Brian, you can see how that first unconsolidated layer just fell right out of there, and we keep working our way down, making a pie-shaped wedge. Pretty tough snow, and we're trying to free this whole column. Remember that we don't want it touching the snow next to it at any point.
Okay.
So I'm going to do this all the way down here. All right, great, looking good. Want to clean it up. And so we have one side free, another side free, and then we're going to go on to the back, make sure that's free. And we only want to move here in 2-foot increments because when we stick our shovel down, we don't want to leverage it off. We just want to go in little bits. So that's pretty good for now. And we'll go ahead and grab the shovel.
All right.
Stick it in the back here.
And this is to see if a piece falls and fails.
Exactly. This is what we're calling the shovel shear test. And we're going to apply a certain amount of force and see how the snow reacts to that force.
Okay.
One key point is to not leverage your shovel out, to just pull with nice, even, steady pressure. And we can see that, actually, we got a bit of a shear failure there. This came off in kind of a nice block. It's a little dirty. That's not what we'd consider a good shear, but it gives us a little bit of information. Mostly, look at that layer that it's sitting on right there. you can see that that's a pretty solid plane right there.
That's that ice pack we ran into.
Exactly, that's that same ice layer we found. And so then we're going to cut down a couple more feet. Once again, inserting the shovel. And, oh, there's a good one.
Whoa, take a look at that.
Yeah, great plane. So,
see that.
We get down in here and we want to wonder, why did this happen? We look at this surface here, we have a little bit of unconsolidated snow on top of a really dense slab and below another really dense slab.
Yeah.
So there's a weakness between the two. Yeah. So there's a possibility that if enough force was applied, this could all slide off and become an avalanche.
Wow. Yeah, I can see that now.
So the main thing is we don't want to put all of our faith in one test. We want to move on to another pit, do this test again and some other tests.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's head out. Grab this stuff. Let's go.
Wow, the weather sure can change in these mountains.
Oh, it sure can. That's something to keep in mind when you're traveling in avalanche terrain.
Yeah?
It's one of the key components in what we call the avalanche triangle. The question is, has the weather been contributing to instability?
Yeah.
What do you think in this case? Is the added snow adding stress to the snowpack?
Yeah, I imagine the more weight would.
Exactly,
yeah.
And that's the point really, it's adding weight. Another key component is terrain. And the question to ask there is the terrain steep enough to produce an avalanche? What do you think of that low angle terrain there? You think that's going to be an avalanche starting zone?
No, I wouldn't think so.
No, not very likely. What about this steeper terrain over on our right?
I'll tell you, if this gets any steeper, I'm going to start an avalanche.
I
think the steeper it gets, the more potential.
Exactly. The steeper, the more potential for an avalanche. And the third component is snowpack. Is the snowpack capable of producing an avalanche? And because we don't have X-ray vision, we can't look down through the snow and tell that. So what we have to do is dig a snow pit, do some stability tests.
Yeah.
So what I suggest we do is go dig a roosh block test, hop on it and see what happens.
Okay. Why don't we try the slope up here?
This will be perfect. Okay, this looks good.
All right.
So we're going to dig another pit. So we're going to need it to be about 6 feet wide again. So I'm going to let you go ahead and get in there and measure that out.
All right. Use your scientific patented method.
That's the one.
Measuring.
All right.
All right.
Looks good.
Well,
let's go ahead and start digging.
All right.
Okay, let's just square this up a bit. Great. I think we're looking good.
Yeah.
Nice work. I'm just going to grab the cutting rope here.
All right.
You want to take this end.
Sure.
Head up into the trench. Get a good wrap around your hands.
All right.
Then what we're going to do is just back and forth in a sawing motion. Lots of pressure.
Okay.
All right. Let's
go. Let's go.
Great. So there's one thing that each slab avalanche has in common.
Yeah?
And that's its layering system. You must have a bed surface, a weak layer, and a slab sitting on top of that.
Okay.
Those are sort of the components that we're looking for within this snow pit, and that's why we're going to do this stability test.
All right.
We're almost there. Great, I think that's good.
All right.
So, why don't you grab your skis, head up top, and we'll do this stability test.
Sure thing. All right.
Okay, that's great. Well, the point of this test here is that you're going to add your weight to this snowpack right here. We've isolated a column, and if it fails at some point, then we'll have an idea of relative stability.
Okay.
With the roosh block test, there's a rating score of 1 to 7. 1 being highly unstable, 7 tending towards stability.
Okay.
So if it'd been a 1, it would have failed while we were excavating it. So the next thing we want to do is go ahead and step on it just about 6 to 8 inches below the line here, right where my hand is.
All right.
All right. So we know it's not a 2 because it didn't fail with your weight. When you got onto it, we didn't see some sort of failure happen.
Okay.
Next, I want you to do a deep knee bend. All right, and come back up. So we know it's not a 3. It didn't fail with your deep knee bend.
Okay.
After that, I want you to hop one time in the same spot. Okay, so it's not a 4. It didn't fail with your first hop. Hop again in the exact same spot. Okay, so it's not a 5. It didn't fail with a second hop in the same place. I want you to step down another 6 or 8 inches. Right there's great. Okay, well, it's difficult for you to see where you're from, but this top layer is already starting to shear off. But what I want you to do now is jump 3 times really hard in that spot. Oh yeah, there it goes. Great. Whoa! So, let's take a look at this shear plane over here. Now you know what it feels like to be part of an avalanche.
Yeah, no kidding.
Okay. Clear yourself up and I'll show you a few things about this shear here.
All right.
So, not the best shear failure ever, but it's definitely good for illustrating a few points.
It's good enough for me, yeah.
Run your hand on this here and you can feel that we have a hard bed surface.
Yeah.
Right there. And on top of that, some unconsolidated snow.
Yeah.
With a whole bunch of slab on top of that. And when that slab went, you went with it.
Yeah, sure enough.
So overall, I'd give this a rating of 6, which is tending towards the side of stability.
Okay.
So for us today, that means let's ski it.
All right, let's do it.
All right, nice stuff.
Yeah.
So one of the things we want to think about is as we're traveling in the backcountry, we need to constantly be reevaluating the snowpack.
Okay.
So even though we did one test, we want to always be looking around and checking out the snow. One thing that I'd like to point out is you can take this top snow surface and just squeeze it in your hand and let go. And it gives you an idea whether or not this can be slab snow on top. So this stuff doesn't really stick together too well.
No, it doesn't. It's kind of dry.
Think about making a snowball. If it's really good snowball snow, it's really good slab snow.
Okay.
So what I'd like to do is just maybe somewhere right in this area, dig another pit where we can do a compression test.
Sure thing.
All right, pop your skis off. And the idea with the compression test is we're going to apply a amount of force to the top of this column, and we're going to see subtle failures in the column here, so you really got to keep your eye on that face. So I'm just going to start applying some pressure to the top, and you tell me if you see anything.
All right.
Here we go. There's a little bit.
I see some
and there's
cracking
another one that
coming
popped
through here.
out right there. So we'll just go ahead and keep going, see what we get. I'm going to start really hitting it good.
Yeah.
That was more just kind of a failure of the block.
Okay.
And what we're looking to see is if we can find that same failure we found in the roosh block.
Okay.
Now we're really giving it.
Oh, there it is.
Did
Right
you see
here.
it? Oh, yeah,
Crack coming
there it
clean.
is. Exactly. We can take that block, and we can look at that shear plane, and that's the exact same one that we had in the roosh block. So it kind of backs up what we saw before. We have a good shear plane, unconsolidated snow on top. But I was really hitting it pretty hard before it failed. So it kind of just goes right along with what we found in the roosh block, that this is a pretty stable snowpack we have here. So I'd say let's make some tracks.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
Great.
Wow, what a great day. You know, the threat of an avalanche in the backcountry is a real one. Worldwide, over 150 people are killed each year in slides. Most of these incidents are preventable ones. Today, we've learned how to identify Mother Nature's warning signals by evaluating slope and snowpack conditions. I'd like to thank Josh for all he's taught me. One day, it could save my life. And I can't wait to get out into the backcountry with him tomorrow. Hopefully, we'll see you there on the next Trailside.
To order home videos of this or any other Trailside program, or to order a Trailside guidebook, call 1-800-TRAILSIDE. Members of the Trailside Nature Club enjoy travel and merchandise discounts, plus a free Trailside home video or guidebook. To join, call 1-888-52-TRAIL. Trailside is brought to you by Chevy Tahoe, encouraging you to find your own little part of the planet.